Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Mvunganyi. On today's show, we chat with event organizer Osita Ugeh, commonly known as Duke, about what it takes to put together an African festival in the United States. We are looking at the legacy of Paulina Chiziane, a pioneering Mozambican writer who broke barriers as the first African woman to publish a novel. We are also visiting the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C., which has been turned into a wonderland of children's literature. Those stories, plus the latest on the death of Nigerian actor Junior Pope, are coming up right here on Red Carpet. Let's get on with the show. Nigerian singer Tems made her debut at the Coachella 2024, surprising her fans by inviting Wizkid and Justin Bieber to join her on stage to sing their viral hit song Essence. The song, which catapulted the young singer to superstardom in 2021, made history by topping Billboard's R&B hip-hop airplay, peaking at number 9 on Billboard's Hot 100, making history as the first Afrobeat song to reach that level. Ghanaian fans of American rapper Ja Rule were excited to meet him during his recent visit to the country. Ja Rule was in Nwaso in the eastern region to commission a school building in the community. Nigeria's Enugu State is mourning the death of Nollywood actor John Paul Odwodo, also known as Junior Pope. The news agency of Nigeria reported that Pope, who hailed from Enugu State, alongside 4 of his colleagues, lost their lives in the tragic boat accident on River Niger while returning from a movie location on Wednesday. In a statement, the state governor Peter Mbah said Junior Pope's death came at a time Enugu State was working hard to develop the creative potential of its youth for self-reliance. Organizing the first Ghanaian music festival for Africans living in the US is not an easy task. It takes meticulous planning, coordination, and curating a diverse lineup of artists representing different genres of Ghanaian music. But that's just the kind of task that trailblazing Nigerian event promoter Osita Ugeh, also known as Duke, is known for undertaking. From organizing Burna Boy's sold-out concerts around the US to Davido's timeless North American tour, his calendar is always busy. We caught up with him during the inaugural Rolling Coco Festival to chat about some of the challenges of organizing such a grand event. Tell us about Rolling Coco. What's the concept and what inspired you to start it?
So I've always loved, and I've always, many years ago, I said I was going to do something particular for Ghanaian music. I remember in DC, Stonebwoy and I spoke a vision about something like this. And I told him I was going to do that. There was going to be a time that we would take Ghana music and put them on the world stage and make it bigger, right? The first thing is, after this, Rolling Coco is going to London, New York, and Toronto for 2025. Yes,
expanding.
Correct.
Wow.
So the goal is to, like the way you push every culture, music from every culture, like we've always done right from time.
Right.
We're about to do that for Ghanaian music now. So it's an intentional push for people to pay attention to Ghanaian music, because there's a lot of attention on Amapiano, South Africa.
You banned it for Nigeria.
Nigeria, exactly. Right. You saw when we started 10 years ago. So it's time to do that for Ghanaian music, and that's what we're doing.
What was holding back Ghanaian music from being on this platform? I mean, they're the originators of high life, iconic musical genres.
That's arguable.
I know you're trying to be politically correct because you're from Nigeria.
That's arguable.
Yeah.
You know how we document documentation of history in Africa. Yeah. However, they are still authentic to the music, like we always know. Yeah. But I think that people don't want to take chances. Everybody wants to go for what's trending and what's profiting. Yeah. Nobody's ready to build. But in the concept, we want to build. We've always built, like, all our artists we built with them from the scratch.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And we're going to take this to...
So who are some of the artists? Who are the people that are helping push the culture forward? And what's the name of music coming? I mean, so we know Afrobeats. What is Ghana? What's the thing about?
Well, Ghana has several types of music. Like I said, the high life, they're very big on high life. They also have... funny enough, Stonebwoy does variety. He does Afrobeat, he does dancehall. Right, and you have people who are, hip hop, right? Like Blacko, right? So hip life. So there's a lot of music that comes from the continent, but they all box everything into alphabet, which sometimes is good and is bad. But the intentionality is just people to see that there is music from Africa beyond music from Nigeria or Amapiano, which is the new love, right? Let's showcase the other parts of Africa, which is not getting as much attention as it should.
Dio, thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're a busy man, but thank you for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you so much.
You, brother.
All right.
Paulina Chiziane, a pioneering Mozambican writer, broke barriers as the first African woman to publish a novel without prior knowledge of it. Now, despite her initial aspiration to become a singer, she found her voice through writing and continues to champion the causes of women and Africa. Recognized with prestigious accolades like the Camões Prize, Chiziane's legacy resonates as a beacon of inspiration and empowerment. Here is more from Paula Alves Silva.
I am Paulina Chiziane from Mozambique. I'm 68 years old. I never wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a singer. My father wouldn't let me. And when I started writing, my father would say that she's studying, and that's why I ended up writing. My father was a poor tailor, my mother a peasant. I learned to write on the floor. I wore my first shoes at the age of 10, but that didn't stop me from flying through life. Human beings, wherever they come from, whatever the condition, can fly. I didn't realize it. I just wrote a great story that others called a novel. That's all. That doesn't change anything about me. But every now and then I say, it's not possible. How did that happen? But it's a happy event. But now that I'm an adult, I've gone back to music. When I can't write, I sing. And I have to say something. Books are elitist. In other words, only those who can afford them and who have learned to read can read them. But not music. If my neighbor plays music, even if I don't want to, I'll hear the message. And I think that's why I think it's very human. We don't have as much developed writing, but we have this soul that we transmit through sound. It's remembering that the black people in the holds of the ships, deprived of everything material, not even the right to exist, even tied up, only had a voice. And they sang those songs that 5 centuries later lull us and inspire us. Which means that writing is a human invention, while the voice is the power of the soul. The power of essence. Sometimes it bothers me when people say that Africa is about orature. Orature is humanity. I have to celebrate every moment I've lived. The moments of hunger, I have to celebrate. The moments of pain, I have to celebrate, and I light. And I come from a land that knows no peace. So the search for peace is also one of my motives, because Africa needs that peace, and the world needs to hear Africa's cry.
And let's go to Panama, where the Scuba Mermaids dive community unites women of all ages, races, and backgrounds over a shared passion for the underwater world. VOA's Jania Dulo reports from Panama, where she joined some of these women on a dive.
Scuba diving instructor Myra Thomas gives a navigation refresher class to a group of women from the United States. She brought them to Panama to explore the underwater wonders of Coiba National Park. Scuba diving is a predominantly male sport, says Thomas, who tailors her instruction to women.
how to teach women, how to incorporate some of the knowledge and skills specifically to women. And also be a little bit more caring, because I feel like women need a little bit more care.
Thomas, a scuba professional for 15 years, says she was often turned down for jobs for being a woman. Potential employers argued that she couldn't carry heavy tanks or that she might get too emotional in an extreme situation. To help more women get involved in scuba diving, she started Scuba Mermaids several years ago. Based mostly in the US, it's an online community of women who travel and dive together. Stephanie Benjamin, a police officer from Texas, says scuba diving is an escape from the stress of her work.
Scuba diving is so calming. Being in the ocean is so chill. You just go down there, you hang out with the turtle, you breathe, you don't have to talk to anybody. You're like, wow, look at all these fishes. It's like traveling to Mars. It's wild. It's wild, like I'm with a shark. There's nothing better than that.
Lauren Green, a swim teacher from Kansas City, Missouri, says people often are surprised when she tells them that she scuba dives.
I think for me, the opportunity to show other young Black women, like, hey, I'm diving. I'm a Black woman that dives. You could do this too. Like, don't be afraid. All you have to do is put in the work, put in the time, obtain the knowledge.
In just a few years, the mermaid community grew from 80 people to almost 5,000. Members say wearing pink underwater is their way of showing that they are strong and adventurous.
Washington, D.C. has turned the National Building Museum into a wonderland of children's literature. Using children's books, it's an immersive journey into architecture, engineering, and design. Maxim Adams has the story.
Showcasing over 150 children's books from 28 countries and 5 continents, written in the last 200 years. The new exhibition at the National Building Museum is called Building Stories. The exhibition is one of the most ambitious ones the museum has ever had and will stay open to the public for a decade. Aileen Fuchs is executive director of the National Building Museum.
Well, the National Building Museum, our mission is to inspire curiosity about the world we design and build. And I can't imagine a more joyful, wondrous, on-point way to do that than through the lens of children's books.
Classics like Winnie the Pooh and Alice in Wonderland meet contemporary children's books like Harry Potter and Jumanji as immersive landscapes, 3D pictures, video and audio installations bring them to life. The exhibition also shows how books can change the societal narrative.
Think of Pippi Longstocking, a book from Sweden, originally from the 1940s. She's totally self-sufficient, and which is the opposite of the way children are often allowed to live in the world.
Leonard Marcus is an expert in children's literature and the exhibition curator. He handpicked every book for this exhibition.
Some of the books are about home itself, some of them are about leaving home, some of them are about not having a home and having to cope with life in that situation. Some are about being forced to leave your home, as a refugee.
On top of exhibitions, the museum has a reading room with over 200 books to be enjoyed. And the youngest visitors can also create their own story from special soft blocks. Maxim Adams, VOA News, Washington.
And thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Mvunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.